All right, let's try this again. There he is. Unable to join. Oh, come on. For whatever reason, Healy, it says that you are unable to join. I don't know why. Maybe in your settings? Check your settings. Maybe you've got something blocked. Well, I see that you're here, but... Oh, there we go. There he is. The legend.
I was trying to get on my computer and it wasn't letting me, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta do it on your phone. It's a little annoying in that way, but
No worries at all.
yeah. How you doing?
Good. Just got Cora down she's going down right now with mommy. And Avery just went to sleep literally at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, good time to have a hang.
In the nick of time, literally. It happened right when I was hopping on. It's kind of hilarious.
I gotta say, it's
Get
amazing.
some water.
It's amazing watching you two parent. Because you're just so good at it.
It's pretty fun. I mean, it's just pure joy every day. It's challenging, but it's really, really fun at the same time. Like, I love it. I always knew I'd be a dad, so it's pretty cool. So in and out.
Yeah,
I love it.
for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a journey. That's for sure. Balancing a 10-month-old and a 2.5-year-old who's like going on 3.5 sometimes. She's just so smart, which is wild. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. You get a lot of drumming in, or you got the e-drum kit there, right?
Yeah. I'll show you a little setup. It's kind of a mess right now. We've got stuff everywhere. Random percussion. Yeah, just the TDK 15 right in the corner of the house, next to the TV, next to the kitchen. It's just next to the pack and play.
That is a different. It's a different spot, right? I haven't been to your place in years now. At this moment.
Yeah, we've been here, I guess, almost 3 years. So
Okay.
out here in Black Mountain, we love it. Super chill, just like 15 minutes from Asheville, which is great. So, yeah.
You got that. Is that little stream in your backyard, or you guys go there?
It is. It's literally. I'll show you. Why not? It's right out the back door. It's kind of crazy. It's really cool when it's raining. Like, you can hear it rushing. You might even be able to hear it on the stream. But like, walk outside, and it's just like right down there, like right in the backyard. It's really, really cool.
That's awesome.
So, it's pretty nice for dad life. You got the sandbox. So yeah, the stream rules. We're down there almost every day, even when it's like raining. It's just so fun to go chill by it. We got some hammocks, a little hammock chair. It's awesome. So loving it. Pretty
Nice.
cool spot. Yeah.
I'm super jealous. Callie and I are still in apartment life, but we're working on changing that.
Yeah.
Once this pandemic hit, it became very apparent that not having a drum set available to play whenever, or at least at some point throughout the day, is not doable.
Yeah. That's super hard.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go outside and chill on the porch.
You mean you don't want a crying baby in this?
Cora's not trying to go to bed.
Uh,
So, dad life.
Yeah.
That's how it is. But Kim's pretty awesome. She'll get them back down. My
Yeah.
my pretend. Anyways, I'm back.
Yeah. There he is, buddy. I was thinking about it today, how because I was listening to the new song. Congrats on not only all of the
Yeah,
music coming out, but your first song written for the band, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, yeah. It's took me forever. I mean, I I've always messed around a little bit here with Ableton. Anthony gave me his push a couple years ago, and yeah, in between parenting, I've always been ridiculously busy. But yeah, just before Cora was born, the beginning half of that song kind of just came to me, and I just like kept hearing like this kind of Boards of Canada, Ulrich Schnauz, like electronic kind of textures. It was super chill, and I was just messing around with it on the push forever, just different kinds of beats, and just you know trying to find something that sounded right and something that I would like want to show the guys too, because they're all so talented and like really really good with production, and that's like not my forte. I'm a drummer, and I've been playing in bands since fourth grade, always as like a drummer and collaborating with, the different, people I've played with. But I've never been the type to bring an idea, like a fleshed out whole idea, like, to any band that I've played in, really. I've always been more collaborating and loving coming up with stuff on the spot, or, writing together in a band setting has always kind of been more my comfort zone,
Yeah.
and yeah, I've always made beats and different kinds of things for sure. But this time it felt like, all right, this is pretty cool. I really want the guys to hear this, and they all loved it. And then yeah, I kind of sat on it for a while, and then like after Avery was born, I heard like this middle ragey dance party section. I was like, all right, cool, it's all super chill, and all right, let's turn up and get weird. And that was really fun. And then when we were all working on the Microdosio stuff, we started fleshing it out together. Finished the ending, and some really cool textures and some synth parts were added to it, and it's just it came out pretty awesome. I'm really happy with it, and
Yeah.
it's really fun. We've only played it live like twice, so I can't wait to play shows again so we can play it out and share it with the world.
I
So
know. It's something we're all waiting on and excited to do again. But soon enough, hopefully, and by soon enough, I mean we'll see. But it seems
yeah,
hopefully by next year, things will turn around a little bit differently.
I know this is crazy. This is crazy, but at the same time, this has been really really awesome. At the same time, like I've never spent almost 3 months straight at home in I guess 14 years. Um, it's kind of crazy to say that since the band started, and I've been with my wife Kim for I guess, yeah, I mean, 12 years, we've been dating, we dated for 7 years before we even got married. Like, it's, I think the shortest was 5.5 weeks, or the longest was 6 weeks. Yeah, I guess, you know, and here we are, almost 3 months. This has been amazing. I've been really enjoying this too, even with how crazy, everything is at the same time, but it's been a blessing at the same time. I've been really, really enjoying it. So
Well, that's great, man.
yeah,
I'm happy that you're getting to spend time with them. It stinks under the circumstances that all this is happening, but it's still,
cooped up. Yeah, miss the friends, miss the play dates. That's miss the playgrounds for the kids. That's hard for
yeah,
Cora, but we'll get back to that when we can.
yeah. I think when now that it's getting warmer out, things should be a little bit different. I mean, this thing's as far as coronavirus goes down, the DNA
Right,
structure of it breaks down within about 30 seconds, I think, of sunlight, UV rays. So
totally.
it'll be hopefully a little bit easier to do at least outdoor activities where you're not in close proximity to other people
Right.
soon enough. But
Yeah. I mean, everything. I guess playgrounds are still closed everywhere here in Asheville. But Cora will be back in that swing set real soon, so that's gonna be awesome.
yeah, yeah, man, I can't believe I was thinking about it. It's crazy to think that that you guys have been around for 14 years, but also that you've been with Kim for 12 years. Because I was literally thinking about the first show that we ever played together was 12 years ago.
I know.
Like almost 12 years to like, I know it wasn't to the date, but like, because I think it was like January of
Yeah.
2018, something
Yeah.
like that. The Bowery Poetry Club, if I'm not mistaken, in New York.
Yeah. 2008. Yeah, it was
I
the
think I said
Bowery Poetry.
2018, but I mean 2000.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was the Bowery Poetry Club, and man, that was awesome. Actually, I think we were a 4-piece then, right? And
Yeah, yeah. Sam didn't join until what 2011.
yeah, he joined like I guess we were 5 years into being the band. So yeah, 2011.
Plus, it was right around the same time you guys first did your first tour bus tour, and Sonic Zwang opened up for you guys.
Crazy.
Weird to think of
back in the day.
yeah, all the transitions and Ian falling asleep in front of that church. And
Oh my god, that might have been the best night ever, though. That was Scranton, right, or Wilkes-Barre?
we played in Wilkes-Barre, but
Right.
we went to that party in Scranton after at I'm forgetting his name,
Mike Nasser's house.
Mike Nasser's house,
Yeah.
and someone had like brewed a keg of beer for you. It was like the Papadosio,
Yeah, it was so
keg.
good.
And
Yeah, we all blacked out pretty much.
I didn't black out, but Ian definitely did. And I remember we had no idea where he went. Like we were about to leave, and Ian disappeared. And we're in the van. Like he knows we have to go. Maybe he'll come to the van. So we wait in the van, and while we're waiting, we fall asleep, and we got woken up to uh, cops knocking on the window,
Oh
being like,
my gosh.
what are you doing? You can't be here. And like the car wasn't on, or maybe it was, but we were in park, and he's like, the keys are in the ignition. Like if any of you have been drinking, like just so you know, like this is definitely, you could still get a DUI. And it became a whole thing. And then Kuntz came and was like, I got to show you something, and had the photo of finding Ian sleeping on the stairs of the church
Oh my
before,
god.
like Sunday mass or whatever.
It's like, dude, wake up.
Yeah, and he
What are
went
you
back to the
doing?
bus and was like, I need a hand from someone. He's like, what do you need a hand with? He's like, just come with me. And they carried Ian onto the tour bus. But
Oh my gosh, that was so crazy.
yeah,
He's a madman.
yeah,
That's for sure.
definitely. I mean,
Mad
similar
scientist.
similar situation with you. Like, I never worked on writing any music until recently, and now doing stuff with Ian, where I've written a lot of the material. Like the only thing before that was like I collaborated with the Dopapod guys writing Nerves.
Yeah,
But like
definitely.
that was it. My whole career of playing music has been just being a drummer. So
Yeah.
I understand the hesitation and what a lot of people apparently go through. But
Yeah, it's a good thing to overcome, definitely. I mean, we all have it in us. It's hard sometimes when you have a lot of other people that you play with that are just pumping stuff out constantly, and you love it. You're just like, this is dope. Let's do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it felt good to finally get some ideas out and then love it, and then here we are. So
Yeah.
it feels good. Microdosio, dude. cordyceps,
So
mushrooms, tight.
how how'd the concept come about for just doing? Was it like one person wrote one song, and then the concept of writing a bunch more songs that had to do with the theme of different. I mean, they're all medicinal mushroom. There's not. Well, I guess shiitake is that one of the. So maybe
That's one.
so
I guess,
that's
I guess
more of
that could
a
be medicinal
culinary.
too. Yeah, I guess there's probably some medicinal properties to it also. I don't know, but it's delicious.
It is delicious.
It is delicious. Um, I mean, the concept for microdosing has been talked about for a while. We just never got around to doing it, and we only got to play one show until everything was canceled. So it's pretty micro tour.
Very microdosio of you.
Brooklyn got the only one. But well, I guess we did two in the desert, but those were unannounced, and we were filming, finishing
Yeah.
out the ideas before we even recorded too. Um, we've been talking about it for a while because obviously the band has a massive footprint, and it's really hard for us to do the regular Docio show without bringing a ton of gear. It's just what we've been comfortable with for super, super long time, and it's we've always wanted to like scale back and have like a smaller setup that we could still have massive sounds and do a lot of our catalog, but also write new music for the project. And yeah, I guess we were talking about it the past couple of years, and then finally I remember, I guess it was last spring or summer, we were like really set on it. We're like, okay, we're gonna do this, and ideas were coming out. People were pumping them out, and then finally over last fall, in between all of our crazy two-nighters, we were just flying all over the place constantly. Coming home in between the shows, we would try to rehearse for a few days, learning the new material, hop back out, and so then we tried really hard to throw it together really fast in the fall. We all kind of got some new gear. People got new like miniature like MIDI controllers. Anthony has a lot of. I guess he didn't bring the modular stuff from Microdosio, but him, Anthony, and Billy all have the push, and then they got some small synthesizers, little MIDI controllers, and Rob has like I think he condensed his pedal board a little bit, but I got a DW low profile kit, which is like every drum is like this thin,
Yeah.
and they're all like one head, except, and I brought like a real snare drum in my E kit, but it's just crazy. I could fit the whole thing in a massive, like a big Pelican, but I could fit the whole drum set in a roll-on case and fly with it. So it's like, that was the whole idea. I was like, how can we bring all of this stuff with us on a flight, all in like easy little Pelican cases, but have everything be self-contained and not have to travel with it with a huge rig. So that was the concept, and then we finally wrote the songs, practiced the material, and then we went out to the desert in December unannounced. We didn't announce that it was Microdosio at all. We just kind of like hinted this is going to be special, and we'll see what happens. And it was quite a magical experience. We did 2 nights at Tempe, at Shady Park in Tempe, Arizona, and 2 nights at Meow Wolf, and we filmed both of them. And in between those shows, we went out in the desert with Dustin Klein, our light guy, lighting designer, and projection mapping wizard, who recently just got a crazy viral pictures all over the country for projection mapping in Richmond on the General Lee
Oh,
statue.
is that the
And
thing that you posted with George
yeah,
Floyd? That's awesome.
yeah, that was Dustin did that, and it went viral. It was like on the news everywhere, and Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine posted it. Like, it's like so cool. Like, Dustin is a badass, and just the fact that he had enough balls to go out to the protests, set up a projector and project on a monument, like some of the most powerful, imagery, and just putting Black Lives Matter up there, and it went everywhere. Oh my God! Like the whole world saw it. I'm super stoked and proud that he's my friend, and it's I don't even have words to describe it. It's just super beautiful that he did that, and it's fucking badass.
Yeah, a
Anyways,
lot.
so we went out in the middle of the desert. Sorry to go back
Oh, you're
to
good.
the desert, but went out in the middle of the desert and he projection mapped this massive boulder, and we did a video. Fly Agaric, our first single, we did like I think we tried it like a couple times in the day and a couple times at night, and then we made a music video out of that, and it was epic. It was so fun. I would love to projection map any rocks in the desert any day, or cactuses with Dustin whenever, and
That's fun. I'm
it
jealous.
was so fun. It was so fun.
I'm
So,
super
but
jealous.
that's so yeah.
There was a lot
Anyways,
of there was a lot of those like old school videos of like Queens of the Stone Age and some of the other. Who's the singer, main songwriter of Queens of the Stone Age? You know, off the top of your
I have a mind blank right now, but I do. I have
like,
his face. I have his face right here. It's right
yeah,
here. Josh.
Josh Homme.
Homan. There you
He's from like the Coachella Valley area,
go.
so like they used to rent generators and like throw major parties in the middle of the
No,
desert all
that's
the time.
cool. That's awesome.
And I've always wanted to do something along those lines, and you guys doing that was awesome. And also, Meow Wolf, I hear, is like the coolest
It
venue.
it is. It is. We've been there 3 times now. I guess twice, but played 3 shows there. Um, and it's literally like walking into, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory or Alice in Wonderland. Like you definitely go down the rabbit hole when you're in there. Sober, it is extremely psychedelic. Like extremely. Like you walk in like one room and it feels like you're in a Flaming Lips music video with crazy creatures, and you can like open up like a dryer door and it's a slide into another room. You open up a refrigerator and you walk into like a spaceship, into like climbing these weird, crazy fairy tale like spiral staircases into other dimensions. It's so cool. It's really
Is that
really
in
awesome.
Santa Fe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
It
actually still never played in New Mexico. I've been through New Mexico, but it's one of the states I've still never played any shows in. So
yeah.
we've talked about doing a show there. Like,
Yeah. Albuquerque, Santa Fe.
yeah,
That'd be awesome. Yeah, you should definitely play a Meow Wolf.
yeah.
It's definitely a bucket list spot, and what's cool about it is it's like really small and intimate. I think it holds like 500 people, or maybe less, but it's like it's a tiny stage. So we did regular Docio there the year before, and we barely fit on the stage at all. But it was really fun coming back with Microdosio because we also barely fit on the stage, even as micro, but it just was more fitting, and yeah, we had
No pun intended.
yeah, it was perfect, and so many people came out to celebrate with us, and we played all the new music for the first time there, with a bunch of new improv jams, kind of like segueing in and out of all the new songs, just trying to get a feel for it all live. And then we came back and recorded it in January after we did like Holidays, New Year's here, and New Year's in Ohio, and then we recorded all the music. So we played it live, like just trying to make sure it felt right, um, and it sure did. And here we are, dropping it in every 2 weeks. So a couple more weeks, everything will be out in July. So
I mean, musically speaking, that's kind of the world we live in now. Anyway, is putting out
oh yeah,
singles. So
we wanted to do that with previous albums, but it didn't work out with like a release strategy. But this time we're like, let's just do it. Fuck it. What's holding us back? Let's do it every 2 weeks. That's when everyone's paying attention anyways. Like People listen to singles. People listen to 30 seconds of songs and then they're done. They don't listen to full albums anymore at all. Even Spotify was like, yeah, you should just release it one at a time. Like, it works better on our platform that way. So we're like, okay, let's do that. It's
I
going
hear
well,
that.
and each song gets to shine. Like on albums, like I listen to full length albums.
Yes, I was just about to
We
say.
grew up in that generation. I'm 34, and I that's how I grew up. But I understand that's not the way it is anymore, and it's all about playlists and song placement, and every song doesn't shine on albums these days unless you release it one at a time. So this is our first time trying it, and it's going really well. So far, everyone's really, really digging everything, and our streaming is going up. So that's awesome. So, killer.
Great. Congrats.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Super
really,
happy for
really
you
great.
guys.
Yeah. So I can't wait till it's all out too. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
So
You grew up in Cincinnati
yeah.
or the surrounding area? I know you guys
No.
are originally based out of Athens, Ohio, but
Yeah, the band's based out of Athens. I grew up in Cincinnati, in a neighborhood called Pleasant Ridge. Like my backyard pretty much was Everybody's Records, which was like the coolest record store ever. It still exists today. And I would just like get off the bus and just go right in the record store and hang out for like 2 hours and talking music and buying used CDs and pretty much just hanging out there like a bum every day after school for like 2 hours. It was awesome. So yeah, that helped shape me a lot. But yeah, I grew up in Cincinnati, and I do love Skyline chili. It's delicious.
I never had Skyline chili. I passed. Obviously, they're everywhere in that region, but I've never had it. It was talked a lot because Rob Comp is a big Skyline chili fan, but
It's good.
and
It's good.
now that I'm vegan, I don't see myself eating Skyline chili anytime.
You can get beans and rice.
Oh
It's
yeah,
so good. The vegetarian one is great, and
someone's saying it's
and you can
trash.
get no cheese.
Yeah,
But
beans
yeah,
and rice. Okay.
it's like a beans and rice chili. But yeah, I was vegetarian in high school, and I used to get that all the time. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's totally trash for sure.
So,
It's Skyline chili. Like, come on.
so when did you first start playing drums in Cincinnati?
So my older brother played, and he still does, and I was like, I guess 2.5, 3, and
Oh,
just
whoa.
just wanted to copy him. It's kind of cool. Like he made a drum. It's kind of a fun story, but he made a drum set out of paint buckets. Was our first kit, and it was like a 5-gallon bucket for the kick drum, a fourth a gallon for the tom, half a gallon, and a 3/4 a 5-gallon. They're all 5 gallons cut up for just the drums. And we had a real snare drum and one cymbal. So that was our first kit. We rocked that for a while. And then my brother, he got a gift from my grandfather. It was like a presidential gold coin series. And he traded it in for the weight of gold. And he got like, I don't know, $700 for it. This was like, I don't know, I think I was in 3rd grade or 2nd grade at the time. So from 3 on, I played like on this hybrid bucket kit. And I also like played, hand drums occasionally at this church that my parents went to, and I would sit and rock on the hand drums as a little kid sitting in, which was really cool. And then my brother traded in these gold coins, and then he bought an old Slingerland like 70s kit off probably out of the Yellow Pages back then. I don't even remember. I don't know where he got it from. We were so young. I think I was in like 2nd grade, and so that Slingerland kit ended up becoming my kit because my brother got out of drums for a little bit. So then I had that kit forever until I bought my first kit in college, I guess. Bought my DW kit that I still play today.
Dude.
Thanks to good old Athens, Ohio, Delicious Greenery helped me buy that kit, and yeah, I'm very grateful to Ohio University for
For
all those
funding your
weed
drums.
smoking kids. So, but it was awesome. And yeah, so I bought that kit in college. I think that was like year 2 in Papadosio. So yeah, I rocked the Slingerland kit for a while, and then yeah, bought my first drum kit in college, and it's still my kit. I love it so much. Olive Ash Burl DW, baby.
It's
so awesome.
It's pretty incredible. I've always loved the exotic finish of that. What is it, Mappa Burl maple?
It's Olive Ash Burl, so I just have it all natural.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wouldn't do this if I could redo everything, but someday I'll get another kit. But I mean, I definitely dropped like $5,000 on that kit, and
yeah,
it's nice. So I love it.
You should speak to DW. Why don't you talk to DW?
Great DW kit. I just don't need a new one. That's the thing. Like I would like another one for sure. Yeah. But I know if I go that route, I'm still gonna have to buy another one. So
maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. I should look into it. I need some more room. This house is really small. I wish I could have a real drum set set up at my house too. So eventually.
One day.
But yeah, that's the story of my drum kit. But now I have, I recently bought a little Questlove practice kit. Those are awesome. So those are fun, and I set that up by the stream a couple times and jam out. And then the DW Low Pro is really awesome too for the Microdosio. It sounds pretty good actually, even with the one heads. Good enough sound engineer can make it sound pretty awesome out front. So it kind of sounds like timbales a little bit on the toms, but it's kind of fun. It's different, so it's cool.
Yeah, you should try hydraulic heads on them.
That'd be a good idea.
Because it'll give it like a fatter tone, and they're usually lower, and you don't have to like worry so much about tuning them either. Like they kind of just naturally sound good.
Nice.
So you might be able to get a little bit away from like the overtones of timbales on a single head, and
definitely.
It'll have a little bit more of that tone that you're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have coded ambassadors on there right now, something like that. But yeah, I've only played, a couple shows with those low pros. So the tour was canceled after one show in. So we'll get back to it eventually.
Yeah.
But I played on them a lot in the studio. It was fun.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there's definitely a lot with what's going on right now with having the time to like you were saying, with spending time with family, but even just doing some other things, and especially like the current, I would actually say the current state of this country, but unfortunately, it's kind of been the state of this country for hundreds of years now, where like I feel like everything's kind of shifted for me, and I know I can speak for Callie as well, of just like educating as much as possible and kind of learning about, systemic racism and things that you maybe didn't ever think about before, and now forced a bit to realize that this has to finally change after so long.
I mean, this feels like a terrible movie that we're still in. It doesn't even. It's just so crazy that it's 2020 and we're still dealing with these things that we should have solved so long ago, never ever dealt with ever. This is just unbelievably tragic.
Yeah.
One after another. It's just so fucking terrible.
Yeah, you literally hear of even still, there was one that I just heard of today, of actually, I don't know specifically where, but I think it was in Vallejo, California, where a Latin American gentleman like was executed as well. Like actually had his was kneeling on the ground, hands up, surrendered. They still shot him, and it's just atrocious that this is still where we're at. But I mean, if you never fully deal with a problem, and especially, the white privilege aspect of not even realizing how deep the problem actually goes, like if you don't know it exists, or you're just don't, a lot of people don't care, especially in politics and in government, then nothing is going to change. And I'm just grateful that things are finally seem to be going in that direction. I
Yeah,
know I saw too that like NASCAR banned Confederate flags at all their
that's
events, and like,
that's awesome.
yeah.
It's about
So
time. It's
yeah, and
crazy.
you were mentioned with uh, who's your lighting designer again? I'm so used to D that like
Yeah, another D, Dustin Klein.
Dustin. Yeah.
Yeah, but he projection mapped on the General Lee statue in Richmond.
Aren't they taking
Um,
that down?
they are.
Yeah.
They
So
they announced plans to take it down. I hope it's down.
yeah,
It's just crazy. It's just
and I know you've been experiencing
I
this firsthand for long. Like I had read your post, and we kind of briefly talked about it
yeah,
before. Like your experience growing up in Cincinnati is just absolutely insane for anyone who doesn't
yeah,
know. Get to see your post about what happened. I don't know if you want to share that with.
yeah, totally. I mean, I grew up in a really, I would say, a pretty diverse neighborhood in Pleasant Ridge, and all walks of life. It was right in the heart of the city, and I I think I was in ninth grade at the time, and I got a call, like I was at school, and then the school call, or I got a call. I don't know if I was in class or something, but it was something like, Mike, you're not allowed to go home right now. You're not allowed to go home until like 8 or 9 p.m. So you have to go to a friend's house before you're allowed to be home. The whole street is blocked off, and there was an incident um, on your street, and until things are cleared up or whatever, you can't go home. So I'm like, all right, what the fuck's going on? I didn't really have any clue what happened until I found out more before I got back that someone was brutally murdered by the cops in our yard. And so there was a grocery store right behind our house, IGA. It was a grocery store that I used to work at when I was like 15. I used to be a bagger. And it's just crazy. A man stole deodorant and soap, and then got in a little scuffle with the people at the store, trying to, get away. They caused a big deal, and the cops came, and then they chased this man all throughout all of our backyards, and then they got in like a wrestling match, and then they shot him 8 times in the chest. And my dad was outside with our neighbor working on the house and saw the whole thing. They heard a bunch of gunshots. They walked inside, looked through the window, and literally saw it all happen. And then there was a bloody handprint on the side of our house and a massive pool of blood right next to our living room. And that was intense over someone stealing some deodorant and soap. Like, come on, let the fucking guy go. Like, why do you have to kill someone over stealing? Why do you have to, like, call the cops on someone over stealing something so small? It's, like, crazy. But that happened, and that was fucking 20 years ago. Like, it's fucking crazy. And I know when that happened, there was a lot of the April riots in Cincinnati happened. And this was like the second to last killing in Cincinnati. His name was Jeffrey Irons. And then there was one more that happened after that before the city erupted in riots. And my dad was really involved with the March for Peace and Justice in Cincinnati back then, which was awesome. So we were all
Yeah.
down there. And it was amazing time to see everyone come together. But this was also 20 years ago, and this has just been happening every fucking year, since. It's like people just kill nonstop for like little things that you don't deserve to be killed. I don't
Oh,
think anyone deserves to be killed by cops.
well,
There
fortunately,
has to be a way to like detain people without lethal force, and I don't know why we still shoot to kill. We can't just shoot to like knock them out really quick. I'm sure there's technology to do that.
it
So
depends on it depends on the person, unfortunately, because they are trained to aim below the waist, and if you have to take someone down, shoot them in the leg.
yeah,
But there are, and that shouldn't even be the go-to is to shoot someone, but at the very least, like, and especially over deodorant and soap. Like, first off, most people that steal deodorant and soap probably don't have money and need some deodorant and soap. It's the
right,
same with food aspects. It's not like someone, and it still wouldn't make it right, is stealing like a television or something that like is not a necessity.
right.
And a lot needs to change. And unfortunately, the only thing that has changed so far is technology. I mean,
Right.
clearly we're able to have a
We have cell
conversation.
phones.
It's the
Yeah,
only thing that,
everyone, has their phones out now, and we're all recording. And I think that's a really, really big thing. The internet has obviously exploded so much since we were children, and I remember when it wasn't that big of a deal when we were really little, and now it's literally many hours of our everyday for
yeah,
most humans. So um, it's a big deal that we're so connected now, and it's way overdue.
yeah.
Thousands of years, hundreds of years overdue to be dealing with all of these situations that we have to deal with every day in this world. And you know of course we're fucking super privileged white guys, that get to play drums in bands and tour the country and do art, do follow our dreams of struggling musicians. But it's fucking sweet, even though it's really fucking hard and really tough. It's amazing what we get to do, and
And it's that much
it's just
easier for us to do it
it's
because we
so
were,
easy because
born
right,
born with the winning lottery ticket of, I can't speak for everyone, but at least for me, like,
right,
being born a upper middle class white kid is the luckiest thing that I could have had as far as our problem because I did have one issue with the cops once, but like, you know, for being judged for being a hippie, actually.
yeah, me too,
Um, but I could take off my clothing. I can change all of that, if
right,
which is essentially what I did. And for lots of reasons now, I look back on it, it's probably good that I don't wear like a drug rug all the time and have long
totally.
hair and whatever. But ultimately, like, I shouldn't have to do that. You should not just be judged based off of how you look.
Oh, totally. Yeah, the experiences that we've had, for example, Docio, and me before this, like my cop interactions. I remember one year we were driving down to Langerado, and I had a bunch of weed and like a bubbler and keef and probably psychedelics. I don't remember everything we had. Got pulled over. The car reeked of fucking weed. Like we just smoked so much weed in the car. I had a fucking djembe in my lap. The cop rolls down the window like, "Have you guys been smoking?" I'm like, "No, not really." And like he's like, "You find anything in the car? You guys are gonna be arrested." I'm like, "Good luck." It was in the hood. Didn't find anything. Went to the festival. Had the best time ever. If I was a black man, that wouldn't have happened. This was in fucking Georgia.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of fucking nowhere. I would have been fucking arrested so fucking quick. And like, here we are, bunch of white dudes smoking a bunch of weed, shouldn't even get arrested for that at all. Should be fucking legal everywhere by now. But, slap on the wrist. All right, have a good day. Like when we were in the Dosio tour bus, we got pulled over. We all got woken up by the cops with flashlights in our face. That sucked. That wasn't fun, but of course they just confiscated all the weed, gave us a bunch of tickets. We had to hire some fucking lawyers, and that was like a couple $1,000s to to pay for it and get it off our record or something. And then another time I think we got I actually got cuffs on me once.
Same here.
But it was for I guess we got into it was actually at High Sierra. We were in a swimming hole, and we were all getting back in a car to go back to High Sierra, leaving the swimming hole. And there's like this aggro cop, like, if anybody keeps parking on the side of the road, I'm going to arrest you, or something like that. And I think Sam was like, oh, tragic, to the cop. And then we got back in the car, and then we started driving back to the festival. And I guess too many of us got back in the car. Some of us got back in the back of the car. It was like a SUV, so we were like not in seats. And the cop then pulled us over and then searched the car, found some weed, put handcuffs on us so tight that it legitimately hurt. But then just took them off a little bit later and just wrote us like a weed ticket in California right before like weed was legal a couple years ago. It's just like so stupid, but nothing happened. Just had to pay some fines. No biggie. Like, no fear, really, for my life at all. It's just inconvenient and fucking annoying as hell. But
yeah, and it's like, of all the things, that's the privilege and the concept, and
exactly.
trying to learn as much as you possibly can to kind of have that understanding. I mean, a lot of people are talking about it now, but a handful of days ago, I had watched from someone recommended it. Or I just saw it on Netflix, but watching 13th.
Yeah.
About the 13th
really
Amendment.
Good. It's really
and
good.
Yeah, I can not recommend more.
I think that should be mandatory for everyone.
I totally agree.
That should be part of every school curriculum wherever.
Yeah.
Like, people need to know this history. If you don't know how just one thing after another over the course of time, and like you don't know this history of every different incarnation of slavery in some way or another, like, you need to learn this.
Yeah.
And it's really important.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot wrong with our current school system. I mean, the lies and various things that we are told to kind of model this picture of what America is supposed to be.
Right.
That isn't accurate. I mean, even just the Columbus idea of like discovering America. When you can't discover something where there's already people there. It's just not possible. And one of the things that I highly recommend to watch for anyone is really anything. I mean, there are a lot of people, but some of the stuff that I've watched and that date back to the 60s is a lot of Jane Elliott stuff. She did the brown eye, blue eye experiment. She constructed it the day after Martin Luther King was assassinated, and just taking white kids and separating out the ones with brown eyes and the ones with blue eyes, and making, one day the blue-eyed kids were more superior than the brown-eyed kids. The brown-eyed kids couldn't play at the playground. The blue-eyed kids had 5 extra minutes more of recess and like this whole thing. And then the next day switched the entire experiment that the brown-eyed kids were more superior. And it was just really fascinating. And she continued this. She started off as an educator, and then she continued to educate herself and make her, line of work be teaching people about racism and also about just history in general. And I think it was 2018, but it was like a couple years ago or so. Her and Angela Davis
Okay.
did an awesome, uh, like they talked together, were asked a series of questions at the University of Houston.
Nice.
And I couldn't recommend more of like a YouTube video to watch than
Yeah.
just the deep understanding of how far back this goes and how insane it is since we're all ancestors of black women.
Yeah. We all go back to the source.
Yeah,
Everyone. It's
it's
wild.
absolutely insane. Um, but sometimes, it's unfortunate, but a lot of things happen for a reason to kind of get us out of whatever. It's just unfortunate that this is the situation because we should have been out of this along the Civil War should have, at that point
Yeah.
it should have never happened to begin with. But if you think about even the idea of the Civil War, at that point it should have been done with instead of just, establishing, Jim Crow and then
Right.
establishing the modern prison system to just have slavery continue to be
Yeah.
legal.
Here, we'll
And
pay you like 80 cents a day to sew panties or package cheese,
yeah,
or crazy shit in all these private prisons. It's fucking fucked.
yeah, I mean that's a problem within itself. Like prison should not be something of a capital gain.
Oh, not at all. It's unbelievable. So,
Yeah,
that's it's just like, ooh, money. Oh, this is great. Let's put people in jail on purpose so they can work for free. It's fucking awful.
yeah. I've known of the idea of privatized prisons, but I didn't realize so much until watching 13th of just how much like with companies like CCA and how why would they not want to change their business model of keeping people in jail when they make more money, the more
Oh
beds
yeah,
filled.
it's fucking awful. It's just like the percentages of like the if you look at the statistics, I think someone, a friend of mine recently posted something about like the average. Actually, it was Anthony. He was like the average of like how many black and Hispanic and white men
Yeah,
were in jail in Minnesota, and like the percentages are just like unbelievably out of control different, and it's just so fucked up. Like
yeah, it's
the
it's insane.
it,
It's insane. I think it's almost 40% of uh, inmates are African American, and then below that would be um, Latino.
yeah,
And so right there you have 70+%. I don't have numbers in front of me, but I'm fairly sure. Like, it's obviously the system is flawed. It's just,
oh
and then
yeah,
once you're in it, you kind of, it's kind of built to, you're staying in it, unfortunately, and you can't vote. You lose your freedom and your right to do so much once you're embedded into the system.
it's unreal. It's just crazy. It's also crazy that we can't all just like fucking vote from our phones. It's like
Yeah.
make it so difficult for everyone.
I mean, I'm
It's
fine.
just
I'm fine with the mail-in situation and how, like, I know with Colorado, like, you are notified. Well, you get your ballot to fill out. You're notified when it is received by them, and then you're notified when it actually is counted.
that's
So,
cool.
like, and they've been doing this for way before coronavirus. Like, I just did a mail-in ballot, and it was great. The only reason why government wouldn't want you to do that is because they make it impossible to vote, except for privileged people to be able to vote.
Yeah, yeah. They don't want anyone, any people of color really to vote. They just want white people to have the power. Like look at people in government. It's fucking fucked. It's just like a bunch of old white men.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck is that? It doesn't represent
But that is
us at all.
changing, though. It's
It
starting.
is. It is.
That is starting to change.
More women and people of color for sure are, you know, getting in politics, but I mean, still, like, the system is so fucking fucked all the way up. It's just hard. It's going to be a long time. I feel like, you know, even at the high levels to really, for a lot of change to happen, a lot of these old fucking assholes need to die, and a whole new guard of younger, intelligent people need to be in politics. Even then, this country is just, we have a lot of work to do.
I mean, yeah. There's as much as I hate the fact that Trump is our so-called leader, he was voted in there. That goes to show you how twisted and deep racism really. I mean, I'm from New York, so I've been used to Trump's crap for as long as I can remember. I mean, he's been guided by racism since, originally doing what he did best, which was buying up real estate and denying it to any minorities. Like, this isn't new, and it's very easy to find this information. I'm surprised that he made it as far as he did. And it's just absolutely insane. And like, one of the, not statistics, but just an idea I didn't even think of that was talked about kind of recently, something I was watching, is if you ask most white women what sex they would like for their child to be, most will say, that they would love a boy to kind of keep the name going,
Right.
But if you ask an African American or a black woman, what child, like, they wouldn't dream of having a male just because of the statistics of being thrown in prison or potentially murdered, and just how hard life is for a black male in this country. It's just sad that is how you base what sex you want your child to be.
That's so awful.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
I know. Like, I mean, of course, I'm really blessed I have one of each, but it takes a really big responsibility also for me, who I've chose this path to be a father, and I have to raise these kids with, a really, really intelligent, guided path on how to be a part of society and be with everyone. And it freaks me out sometimes how, obviously this country is not kind to women as well. And, I have a daughter, and she's really smart, and it's going to be quite the journey, raising them to be good stewards of this earth and to love everyone. And it's
they have
wild.
amazing,
Very, very
parents.
blessed.
They have amazing parents to teach them of that. So I'm confident of a solid journey ahead. But listen, the Instagram is letting me know that we are about at an hour, so we're going to run out of time any minute now. So I want to thank you so much for doing this, buddy. I have nothing but the utmost respect for you and love, and I can't wait to be able to hang when
I know
it calms
this
down
is crazy.
Yeah,
this is ridiculous. We need to do some shows
for sure,
and some serious hangs outside of shows as well. And much love to Callie, and just can't wait to get the fans together.
She's been doing a puzzle on the other side of this the entire time. So
awesome.
Yes, we send our love to Kim and the kids. So we'll talk soon for sure. But thank you again, man.
Yeah, thank you. Much love. Be in touch.
Peace.
Yep.
And for anyone else still on here, next week's episode of Midweek Drum Hang will feature the one and only Jeremy Salkin from Big Gigantic. So tune in again every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Instagram Live. Be safe. Love one another. Peace.